Hello, everyone. Welcome to or welcome back to the Manifest Light 8 platform. I go by the name of Adi and I will be conducting your reading today. This is a reading on why you are single. This video took place in New York City, New York, and so I wanted to add some clips of that in there. But right away, we are going to start off with pile one. This is your pile if this is the crystal that you chose. Okay. And so as I flip this card over, you'll be able to see that pile one is the camel. And so this is an energy check in. If this sounds like you, then you know that you chose the correct pile and this is indeed your reading. Camel energy is very independent energy. The camel is very self reliant, knows one's value. And, for the most part, camel camel energy is very happy. These will be people who are genuinely happy alone, should I say. Definitely happy alone. The camel travels alone, and the camel travels to very far destinations. So you could be someone who, if you are not traveling, okay, and travel isn't your focus, you could daydream about traveling, for those who may not have the means, the resources, or the time to currently travel to far destinations. You could definitely be someone who's constantly traveling to different places in your mind. And now, when we're dealing with camel energy, and if this sounds like you, please keep in mind that this also can represent people who are the complete opposite, because we're working with energy here, right? So you could be the complete opposite for sure, but for the most part, most people drawn to this pile are going to be independent, knows their value, knows their self-worth, self-reliant, genuinely happy alone, but doesn't mean that they want to be alone. And they're travelers, or they want to travel, or they have plans to travel eventually in their lives and in the future. Okay. Please note that there are two versions of the same reading that will be dropping. However, version B will have two additional piles. If you decide to watch version B, you may have the same pile or you may be called to a different pile. And now, with that being said, if this sounds like you, or if you're like, oh my, I am the complete opposite, great. Glad to have you here. This is your pile one, and I am excited to start your reading. So, first off, pile one, I want to let you know that I already have your cards completely pulled. You will be the only group that I do have that for. So let's just quickly do a reminder of the camel energy. So, camel energy is fire energy. So, right off the bat, you could be a fire sign, okay? That's Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or have these in your big three, or have them just dominant in your natal chart altogether, okay? We spoke about the camel and we spoke about how the camel is extremely self-reliant, how the camel is able to take care of themselves. Let's think about what the camel actually really does, right? A camel is a traveler. A camel is not necessarily lonely, but the camel has been used throughout history to constantly hold things and people, luggage on their back, right? So you can also be someone who is continuously carrying a burden, whether this be you being the first person in your family um, to break the chains, to break the curses, to break the generational curses. Okay, whether you are the first person in your family to go to college, or the first person in your family that goes, we've been running this family business for this many years, but I would like to do something else. Or everyone has tried it this way, but I would like to do something else. Everyone's telling me to go to college, but I'd like to be an entrepreneur. This is a new day, this is a new age. Okay. So, not even just necessarily self reliant and independent in your relationships, but this could also uh, translate to the relationships all around you with your friends, with your family, and even with societal norms. You could be the type of person to say, I'm not going to follow what society has planned for me. I'm going to find my own way. I'm going to build my own bridge and find my own way to success. Okay. You're definitely someone that is strong mentally, especially, but you could also be someone that's mentally, uh, physically strong. Okay. Not just mentally, but physically strong. You could be someone who likes to go to the gym, a gym rat, someone who takes care of themselves, not necessarily just for aesthetic reasons. That could be a bonus, but also just because it's really the best thing to do for your health, right? So let's flip these cards over. So what I have for you, Pal One, is I have speak your world into being, leave the past behind, practice gratitude and trust the universe. Now we're talking about reasons why you're possibly single, right? So when we're reading this in that frame of thinking, intuitively, I feel like not necessarily that your past is the reason why you're single, but I feel like there are certain things in your past that have, I also don't want to say created, but for the lack of a better term, it is the reason why you are the way you are today. It is the fire behind your self-reliance in relationships. It is the fire behind the I know what I want, I'm gonna get it. I'm not gonna hear no anymore. Okay. You're either gonna give me what it is that I want or in a relationship or I'm gone. Because maybe several relationships in the past have taken advantage of you, have taken advantage of your resources, have taken advantage of the things you value, whether that be your time, your finances, certain things that you value, or whether that just be consistently dealing with people in the past who don't necessarily fully see you. They don't fully see your value or your gifts. And I would like to say, if that is the case, Pal One, that you are definitely someone of value, but we cannot force people to see our value. And when we have genuine confidence, we don't try to force people to see our value. Okay. Because $100 bill is still $100 bill, whether someone walks on the $100 bill on the street and they don't see it, it doesn't make that $100 bill less of $100 bill. Okay. So everyone might not see our value, but it doesn't mean that's there. Few signs popping up here: Gemini, Capricorn, Sagittarius, Aquarius. So we have some air energy, some earth energy, some fire energy. I feel like the only thing that's really missing is water energy, right? Yeah. So you could be a Gemini, Capricorn, Sagittarius, or Aquarius. Those are some other signs outside of possibly being a fire sign. Besides Sagittarius, Sagittarius is a fire sign. Okay. Now let's go ahead and flip these over as well. Now that this did not come out reversed when I pulled it, so we'll just put it back up right. Okay. So we had here the King of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, and Three of Cups. Okay. And again, I do truly apologize for not being able to pull your cards off camera. Part of me wanted to just completely pull new cards, but I said, you know what? I'm sure these cards came out for a reason. And if anything, I would pull additional cards with still allowing you to see your original cards, pile one. So with the Three of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles here. And again, we're talking about, why are you single? I feel like the whole fundamental basis, the whole fundamental energy behind this pile is I'm going to build the life that I want for myself, and I'm not going to wait for anyone to get it for me or build it for me. I feel like this pile is a lot of you are absolutely aware of the fact that if you cannot find happiness in love, you can find happiness in other things. And so you would like to build on that and focus on that. But of course, there's this underlying, want and desire for a relationship. And obviously, the curiosity of why are you single, right? I feel like this pal has to be very careful of not being so into their independent energy that they do not allow for themselves to, honestly, the word that comes to mind is be submissive. I'm not sure why that's coming to mind. And so a lot of you are going to be like, oh no, I don't know about that. Um, but that's the word that just came into mind is submissive. Okay. Because we know independent women at times feel like they can struggle with submissiveness. And honestly, how I look at submissiveness is I look at submissiveness as just feminine energy. And not necessarily, I guess, because men can absolutely be submissive, but just understand that feminine and masculine energy isn't tied to male and female. Okay. Male and female both have feminine and masculine energies, and it is absolutely important to do our best to try to keep those energies in balance. Okay. Some of you are also giving far too much of yourself in these relationships, too much too soon. And some of you aren't giving enough at all. So this pile really has to practice balance of give and take in relationships. Because understand, if you're constantly giving, 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 you're not creating the space to receive. And if you're constantly taking, 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 you are not giving. There's no balance. Okay. For this pile, I also feel intuitively like your guides are telling you, hey, look, definitely manifest what it is that you want. Continue to manifest what it is that you want, but just trust to know that when we bring people to you, it may not be in the package of what you're expecting. This group has to be a little bit more open-minded because the universe is sending people to you that doesn't look like what you expect, doesn't have the job you expect, doesn't have the home you expect. There's something going on that you don't expect, or it doesn't align with what your vision is or your aesthetic seemingly. But allow, I know the thing right now is like don't fall in love with potential. And I totally understand that. I totally understand why that's a thing of not wanting to fall in love with potential. But to me, there's a difference between falling in love with potential and still allowing space for potential. And also, you do not have to necessarily fall in love with potential, but you can keep your eye on it. You can say, okay, yes, this person has potential. Let me see if they actually do anything with this potential. Okay. You don't have to dismiss potential, but you also don't have to fall in love with potential. And I feel like for this pile, there are a lot of people who are coming in with potential that you probably have that mindset of, yeah, no, I'm not going to fall in love with your potential. Come back to me, reach out to me when you get it all together, when you figure it out. Because these relationships in the past have already taught me that I need someone to come into my life already being the full package. But for some of you, there's a person who's meant to grow with you, and you are also it's not just them needing to grow, you are also needing to grow in some areas as well. And then the universe is also saying be grateful for what you do have right now and the experience that you have had already, because it's all part of a grand plan here. So some of you are probably thinking back into your past relationships like, oh, what a waste of time, or this person, did absolutely nothing for me, but that's not necessarily the case because some of you are missing the lesson. Some of you are missing the lesson. And the way to capture a lot of lessons is through gratitude. When we look on the positive sides of relationships, even the relationships that do not last, because most relationships don't last, when we start to look at the positives, that's when we're able to actually grasp the lessons. Okay, Pawan? So overall, this energy isn't. I feel like a lot of you drawn to this pile have done a lot of work on yourself, and love is probably right around the corner for you. I'm not going to look into the timing of when a person might be coming into your life in this video, but if you'd like me to do that, go ahead and leave a thumbs up and leave a comment letting me know that this pile resonated with you. And if you would like to see that, if you would like to look into some timing, just let me know. Thank you for sharing space and energy with me, Pile 1, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose this crystal here, this is your reading. And as I flip this card over, you will be able to see that you have chose the fire ant. This is one of my favorite cards to work with as I am a fire sign, and this card does represent fire energy. So you could be a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, have that in your big three, Sun, Moon, Rising, or in your natal chart. And this card is so explosive. It is just filled with passion and all those good things. But this is going to be an energy check-in. So if this sounds like you know you chose the correct pile because this energy is so explosive, and we are talking about why are you single pile 2. Some of the characteristics of this pile, or some of the characteristics of those who will be drawn to this pile, could be noted as aggressive, masculine, very masculine energy, attracted to the wrong people. Okay, no self control over the emotions. This could also represent negative thought patterns. For some, this will be the complete opposite. And I know that sounds a little weird, but we're working with energy here. So it's either like this, like I've stated and mentioned, or it is the reverse, the reversal, which is the opposite. So if you're like, actually, I'm on the other end of the spectrum, that's okay. This is still your pile. Okay. But it should relate to you in some sort of fashion, either like, okay, yes, that's me, but the opposite, or the yes, that's me. All right. Please be informed that there will be a version B of this reading. Version B is going to be talking about why are you single as well, but version B will have 2 additional piles. If you decide to check out that video, you may be drawn to the same pile or you may have a different pile. All right, pile 2, I'm excited. Let's get started. Hello, pile 2. If you were drawn to this crystal, this is your reading. Now, I went ahead and did some initial explaining on fire ant energy. Okay, so we're just going to continue where we left off. This energy is very aggressive. um, and we'll talk about that. You may be a fire sign. You may be a fire sign. You may be Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or have those 3 placements in your big 3. Okay, have those 3 signs in your big 3. And let's go ahead and start off with your oracle cards. But if I had to choose one word to describe this energy, it would be aggressive. I mean, even just look at the imagery on the card. Okay, there's a lot of action going on. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of aggression. So I have a feeling that some of you, most of you, a lot of you may have a temper, or are working on your temper. Okay. And if you're watching this and you're like, hey, you know what? I've already put so much work into this. Why is this coming up right now? That's fine. it just could mean that there's still some areas that need some improvement, and that's okay. Okay. But some of you, okay, not all of you, but some of you may be gossiping. Okay. Again, this is a reading on why you're single. Okay. So we got to be ready to hear the truth. If you are a gossiper, and I feel like this is very specific. I don't feel like this will be most of you. This is very specific. Maybe one or two of you, few of you, okay? Um, you're gossiping. You're gossiping is why you're single. Whether people maybe know you as like messy or like a drama starter, someone that's always in conflict or drama, maybe one of those um, men or women who like to watch like those TV shows that are about fighting and stuff like that. Be careful because those things are can really um, subconsciously manipulate you. You have no idea how your behavior and mannerisms will start to um, adjust to that. But like I said, for most of you, this isn't necessarily down that path. This could just simply mean someone who is also very strict and stern about what it is they want in their relationships. This is like a has a lot of non-negotiables. And instead of this manifesting in the sense of aggression and anger, it could simply be someone who has a lot of non negotiables, not willing to be flexible, not willing to compromise. Okay. So if the anger isn't the problem, then the unwillingness to budge or compromise can be the problem. Right? Okay, pile two. Why are you single? Clear your mind. Attend to the details. Detoxify, absolutely. Make time for self love. So, what this is letting me know, pal, too, is that you are, again, to clarify, this pal is the pal of working on our anger. This is the pal of we got to work on our anger. We have to work on our even our mental capacity to deal with certain things. This is the person who um, you might have some water. You might have like a fire sun and a water moon or something like this because though I too have a fire sun and a water moon and I too have had to work on my anger. So just so it's clear, I relate to this pile in many ways, right? But it is so important to create a balance because let's just hypothetically say you do have fire and water in your big three. Um, so you have that passion, you have that sternness, that strictness, but then you also have this waterfall of emotions. So you're mixing passion with emotions, and it can be a recipe for a blow up, a blowout. Be careful that, you know, if you do not work on yourself, you can find yourself in a lot of toxic relationships, not necessarily because you are toxic, just, on your own, but because you might also be attracted to toxicness. I tell people all the time, we have to work on what we are attracted to. Okay. We also have Gemini, Virgo, Libra, Taurus here. So you can also be one of those signs or have one of those signs in your big three. Okay. But this is the universe saying there's still some work that you need to do on yourself. There's still some work that you need to do on how you're showing up in relationships. And the more I keep talking about this, pal, the more I absolutely relate to this energy so much. Um, so this could be you simply because some of you right now are saying, hey, I have worked on myself or I am working on myself. And that's great. Continue to do that. But What I see here is that there's still some very small kinks to be worked out that are turning into big issues. Do not underestimate how the small, do not underestimate how the small details turn into bigger things. For example, you have this conversation and you have this minor blow up, but it ruins your entire relationship and you're just like, it only happened once. I only did it once. Okay? Just giving hypotheticals here to really paint a picture of what this energy looks like when I say, the small details. We really underestimate how the small things in our relationships contribute to the downfall of our relationships. It's that one time you woke up with an attitude. It's that one time you went to sleep with an attitude. And then for the next several days, you had this, you were feeling like yourself, you were feeling great, you were doing this, you were doing that. But then that one small time that you had this unnecessary attitude, and that's the moments that our partners tend to hold on to. Okay. And that's what I mean by we really underestimate how the small things can be really big things. So, this is a person who needs to continue to work on how they're showing up in the small ways. This is a person who needs to be more in tune with their body language, um, the way they speak to their partners on a day to day basis. Are you speaking with love and kindness and respect every single day? I feel so called to share how recently I have come to the conclusion that relationships are all about serving another person. And I feel called to bring that up in this pile. Relationships are about serving another person. And if we seek out these romantic relationships, we should ask ourselves, in what way am I willing to serve my partner? And what are the things that I'm willing to do to serve my partner? But a lot of the times in these romantic relationships, we get so caught up on, well, how can my partner serve me? What is my partner doing for me? The universe is strongly suggesting for this pile to begin to start learning how to meditate. Please do not underestimate the power of meditation, please, especially if you are working on responding to certain things in certain situations that trigger you better. Please do not underestimate the power of learning how to meditate. You would be surprised at what just sitting for 10, 15, 20 minutes a day in what any type of meditation will start to do for your calmness and your peace and your understanding and accepting of others. Okay. A lot of you in this pal are, some of you may not, I'm getting 9 of Cups. Some of you may not know about the attachment styles we have in relationships, but if you do, a lot of you may be anxious, and you can Google that if you like to. The anxious attachment styles in relationships. These are people who need constant attention, which is okay, all right. But just be mindful of the way you show up in your relationships. A lot of people in this pile need attention. Um, this pile is very different from pile one, because in pile one was very self-reliant. But for this pile is calling for more self-reliance. This pile is calling for more. It's not that this pile is lacking confidence, but it's that the confidence isn't showing in the relationships. You're not doing the things in the relationships to show another person that you have confidence. And a lot of you are being called to take a break from love right now. A lot of you are being called to take a little bit of a break because there may be things that you still need to learn from your past relationships that you have not taken the time to just sit down and be still and grasp those lessons. Why is pile 2 single? Can we get 2 more cards, please? For pile 2? Why is pile 2 single? this is all over the place and I apologize, but so we have the Five of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. Interesting with the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. So what I want to say is that some of you are not going to be single for much longer. Some of you already have someone in your life, or you have someone coming in very soon. You either have someone in your life already or you have someone coming in, and this person is going to already be on board with building with you. And so that could be why the universe has attracted you to this video, so that you can be aware of the small things that may send this relationship that you're already involved with going to go south. Okay, it's time to start paying attention to the smaller details that you haven't been really paying attention to, because a lot of you have already put in so much work and your partner is either in or coming in, and the universe is saying continue to put in the work. Now that the person is here, don't stop here. Continue to put in the work. Continue to work on yourself with this person. Okay, for if you do not have a person already in or coming in, um it is honestly, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but there's honestly some things that you need to work on with when it comes to your ability to manage your anger. Some of you are showing up in your connections as a very hot-headed, unbalanced, aggressive person. Okay. And then for a smaller percentage of you, an even smaller percentage of you, you either are healing. I feel like some of you are healing, but it's like you're in this energy of like, okay, I'm done healing. I'm done healing. It's time for me to put myself back out there again. And what I feel is like, we can work on ourselves as much as we want to, but it's not until we are in a actual predicament or situation where we have to come face to face with how much we've actually improved ourselves, until we are able to really see how much we've healed and learned. And so I feel for a smaller percentage of you, your test is about to start, your test is about to begin. Whether it be that someone is already in your life or coming into your life, the universe is saying, be ready. Keep working on yourself and be ready, because those opportunities are about to present itself. So here you go. Here's your warning. Here's your awareness. Here's your insight. And be ready. Let us see just how much you have worked on yourself. And let us and you as well see, is it really the time? Or do we have more work to do? Okay, Pal 2? So I'm going to close out your reading there. Thank you so much for sharing space and energy with me. Please leave a comment or like this video if this PAL resonated with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello, PAL 3. If you chose this beautiful clear crystal here, this is going to be your reading, and I'll let you take a closer look at this crystal. And as you can see, PAL 3, you have chosen the oyster. Oyster energy is water energy, so you could be a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, or have those placements in your big three, sun, moon, rising, or have a lot of water energy in your natal chart. Water is emotional, it's intuitive, but we're talking about why are you single, pile 3. So when we're talking about those who are drawn to this pile, we are talking about people who are determined to get what they want out of life. However, there's a few setbacks here. Some of you could be suffering from low self-value, low self-worth, and this could be consciously or unsubconsciously. You could doubt yourself, doubt your gifts, and in retrospect, take your gifts for granted or downplay your skills, your gifts, or your capacity to do anything that you set your mind to. You could downplay yourself and be like, this is not really that big of a deal. And this can spill over into your relationships and why you are single, especially when you are downplaying yourself while putting others on a pedestal. It could look like that. Reluctant to put yourself out there, though, is one of the main reasons why this pile and people drawn to this pile will be single. Clamming up, not really wanting to make themselves available, and finding logical reasons why. Please note that there will be another version of this reading, Why Are You Single? Version B. You may be drawn to the same pile or a different pile in that reading, but feel free to check it out when that comes out. And if this sounds like you or the reverse of you, because we're talking about energy here, then let's get into your reading, pile 3. Okay, hello, pile 3. If you were drawn to this crystal, this is your reading. And we have oyster energy for this pile. And so I like this pile. This is a pile that has done a lot of work on themselves. You could be a water sign. So water signs being Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And I don't have too many Pisces. I don't know too many Pisces, but the ones that I do, I love so dearly. And I wish I knew more. But I feel like this pile is definitely a pile that has worked on themselves a lot. But right away, intuitively, I feel like this pile, there's a lot that they keep to themselves, a lot of their gifts, a lot of their value, a lot of the things that they actually bring to the table, they're not really putting out there and showing. Okay, so let's actually start with their oracle cards like I've done it for everyone. Why is pile 3 single? I'm honestly very curious to see why this pile is single. Why is pile 3 single? Because I get such ethereal, that's how you say it. I just get such positive feelings from this pile. You guys, a lot of you are very sweet, gentle, kind people. So let's see. Why is pile 3 single? I want to do back of the deck energy for some reason. Let's just see the bigger picture, but I was also drawn to this one. Oh, so you're going to be the only pile with extra oracle cards, at least for now, right? Wow. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, spot on. This is the extra card. I was feeling drawn to both the beginning of the deck and the end of the deck. So at the beginning of the deck, we had step into your power. And then towards the end of the deck, we had see the bigger picture. Okay. Step into your power, see the bigger picture. We also have know your worth, release control, and take a breather. And this is Cancer energy. Okay. So we have Cancer, Taurus, Sagittarius, Aries. Wow, very interesting. So you could also be one of those signs. Cancer, Taurus, Sagittarius, Aries. Yeah, absolutely. And what I'll say, honestly, is that, like I said earlier, this pal is a very gentle pal. For the majority of you, the reason why you're single is because you're not setting boundaries. You don't know your worth, and you're kind of just going with someone else's flow. You're consistently finding these people, and you're just hoping that they would be good people, and you're just hoping that they'll do right by you, and you're just hoping that the relationship goes and flows, and you're kind of just relinquishing your power to other people. Um, and I feel like the universe is like, we need you to see more clearly. We need you to see more clearly on how you're not setting these boundaries, how you are um, how you're not allowing others to treat you in the ways in which you are really worthy of being treated. But then we also have this release control here. Ideally, I would love to sit with your oracle cards a little bit longer, but I right away just want to get some clarity on this release control. Release control. Can we get some clarity on release control? What's going on with release control? Intuitively, I feel like you're going to know what this release control is, but let's just see. Give me some insight. Three of Swords. Interesting. Intuitively, I feel like there's a relationship that you're still clinging on to, whether this be an ex or just not you necessarily, it may not be you necessarily wanting this person back, but there's something from the past. For some of you, this is you not completely being over an ex or a situation that happened with an ex, but for others of you, this situation is trying to control someone else is in the picture. For some of you, you are already dealing with a person and there's someone else in the picture. And you're either trying to control how someone sees you so that they can pick you and choose you, or you're trying to control how they see another person so that they can choose you. Yeah, that's what's going on with this release control. Some of you are in a lot of situations with a third party, and there's a lot of issues going on with that. And for most of you, if this is the case, you're not even supposed to be involved with this person that is putting you in a third party situation, whether this be a baby mother, a baby father situation going on. But there's definitely a third party, whether you are dating someone who isn't completely over their ex, and now you're getting caught up in their drama and their situation, and the universe is saying, hey, you are too valuable. You have too much to give right now. You need to completely remove yourself from this situation. Now, this is a group reading, so that's not going to resonate with all of you, but that's exactly what's going to be going on for some of you. For the rest of you, for those of you who don't even have a partner in your life whatsoever, and you're wondering why, I feel like for some of you, it is absolutely okay to be the person who approaches other people. A lot of you are so in your shell. A lot of you are so into your shell that you do not put yourself out there as far as like approaching other people or learning how to give hints and signs and flirt a little bit with other people so that other people will even know or be aware that you are interested in them. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we'll pull a few more here. Why is pile 3 single? 4 of Cups. Why is pile 3 single? Okay, that's very strange. It's very strange because I've literally already pulled 4 of Cups and Knight of Pentacles for another group. And that worries me. Oh boy. Here we go. Oh, we had a card that wanted to do its own thing. 10 of Pentacles. Nope, here we go. There we go. I feel like these are your cards. Pile 3. Okay. 6 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, King of Swords. Some of you are Um, some of you are dealing with a person that is completely not compatible with you. Be mindful of dating people that are genuinely compatible with you, your energy, what it is you want in life, what you align with. I feel like this Four of Cups and Knight of Pentacles might have popped out to represent that there are some people that are in your life and would make good partners for you, but you tend to choose people who you aren't necessarily compatible with. For others of you, there's still a call. There's a call to get your home in order, your finances in order. Almost as if, yes, the universe sees you as someone worthy of having a partner right now, but they're more focused on making sure that you can sustain a partnership and that you are in a predicament of stability, comfortability, and financial security. Then others of you, the universe is saying, you don't need anybody. Aren't you happy? Look at all that you've built. Look at all that you've made. You have your peace. You wake up every morning. You're in this space that you love. You romanticize your life, and a lot of you feel like you are missing something in life because you don't have a partner, but the universe is saying you're not missing anything. You are already complete. You are already whole. And it won't be until you realize that a person will come in, because the universe needs you to understand that a person, a partner, a life partner is just a bonus. You don't need someone to come in and complete you. It is just a bonus. It is not a necessity. It is just a bonus. There's actually a lot going on with this pile. And I wish we had time to further go in depth with all the different things going on in this pile. But this is a very diverse and mixed group. And there's a lot going on in this pile. So if you were drawn to this pile, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay. Be aware that when we're doing these group readings like this, there's a lot of things that are not going to apply to you. But you got to find what applies to you and leave the rest, because this is a very diverse group so far, unlike PAL 2 where everyone kind of had the same energy. Okay. But there's a lot going on. So please, if you need to, restart this and listen again to find the messages that are specifically for you. And for now, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Please leave a like or a comment if this pile resonated with you. Um, yeah, thank you for sharing space and energy with me, pal 3. I'll see you in the next one.